All right, our second Legacy Wing inductee and our final inductee here tonight, very special woman, Callan. For more than 4 decades, Callan has been the enduring voice and spirit of Colorado women's basketball, as this season marks her 45th year as a color analyst on a CU radio broadcast. How about that? A testament to her passion, expertise, and unwavering commitment to the program she helped elevate. She joined Jim Gray, think about that, for the program's first 4 radio broadcasts on the student station in 1979, when the station expanded to cover all home games. Callan became a fixture on the airwaves, and his coverage transitioned to KBOL radio and later to KOA. She continued her role. Over time, she became one of the most influential figures in women's international basketball. As a national team director, Callan built a dynasty that won 7 Olympic gold medals and 5 FIBA World Cups, compiling an unprecedented record of 101. What happened that one game, by the way? Huh? She oversaw every aspect of the legendary 95-96 USA women's national team that went 52-0. Assisted the 1996 U.S. Olympic team, featuring Seal Berries as an assistant coach, and its first of 8 consecutive gold medals for women's basketball. Under Callan's leadership, USA teams amassed 43 gold medals in official FIBA competitions with a combined record of 323-11. Her accolades include induction into the 2020 Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, 2008 Sportswomen of Colorado Hall of Fame, and 2022 Colorado Sports Hall of Fame. She is married to Dave Callan, CU's leadership coordinator for student-athlete development, and together they have 2 sons, Greg and Tom, both CU grads. And you can hear her night in and night out. And you're going to Hawaii here soon, aren't you, Carol? Heading on down there? Ladies and gentlemen, she's now in the Legacy Wing here at the University of Colorado. Let's welcome the great Callan to the podium.
Thanks, Mark, fellow broadcaster. Thank you to the Hall of Fame Selection Committee, Rick, Kimberly, Bruce, Becky for the nomination, and everyone responsible for me being here this evening, especially given this exceptional class. Congratulations to each of you. I'm thrilled to be a part. As I prepared to speak, my mind jumped to the phrase, the ties that bind. In other words, all the relationships that keep you invested in and bound to this University of Colorado. And when you enter the Legacy Wing, that list is long, but I'll try to go fast. Throughout my career, I learned the importance of relationships. The key to success and happiness is the ability to forge meaningful relationships. I have parallel career paths. You heard about them. One is my work as a broadcaster for the women's basketball team here. The other is as teacher, coach, athletic director at Fairview High School. Knights, how are you? Good to see you all again. Followed by women's national team director. I was lucky to be a part of 7 straight Olympic gold medals. And most recently, the president of the Americas region and current central board member of FIBA, which is the International Basketball Association. I came to CU in the fall of 1976 for graduate school and offered my help with the women's basketball team. The head coach, Jerry Zancanelli, another Knight, was a full-time teacher at Fairview High School and CU's part-time head coach. He threw me into a drill and I quickly learned the effects of altitude. After that year, I earned my master's degree, and Jerry mentioned that Fairview High School was looking for a girls' basketball coach. So I jumped at the opportunity. My first career position at Fairview overlapped 4 CU coaches, Jerry, Renee Portland, Sox Walseth, and Seal Berry. During Renee's tenure, I was asked if I'd like to be the analyst for the women's basketball games. Because I was from St. Louis and admired the famous tandem of Harry Carey and Jack Buck on Cardinal baseball broadcasts, although never to be confused with their talents, I quickly answered yes. The first year, we broadcast 4 games on the campus radio station. You had to be sitting in the hallways of the dorms to hear it. But slowly but surely, broadcasts grew to home games only, as Mark mentioned, and then home games plus the Big 8 tournament. Yes, I rode the bus with the cheerleaders and the band and John Barryanek. and eventually to all games on KOA's network of stations. A shout out to my radio partners, Jim Gray, John McCurdy, Tony Kindlespire, Eric Christensen, Tim Smile, Mike Rice, and now Corey Lopez. Plus, thanks to numerous SIDs, notably Doug Strauss, Troy Andre, and Seth Pringle. Thanks to the Event Center staff, and ultimately thanks to the many athletes who we watched perform, interviewed, and continue to follow today. The ties to CU strengthened when I married Dave, assistant coach with me at Fairview, and became a part of a true black and gold family. Dave's dad, Dean, and his sister Becky were both Buff Club presidents. Bruce Gamble, Becky's husband, was an All-American skier at CU, is in this Hall of Fame. Both of our sons are CU graduates and served as managers for SEAL. Also, after coaching the CU men's basketball team, Sox Walseth worked with Dave's dad as a commercial realtor. More ties during the Fairview years. Barry Remington was a star of the Fairview football team during my years as coach, and a joy to watch as he continued at CU. Congratulations, Barry. Bill and Connie Marolt's daughters were student leaders and athletes at Fairview, another CU connection, plus Bill was Bruce's ski coach. As a young coach, I joined the Colorado High School Coaches Association and went to a clinic here on CU's campus when the president of the association was the head football coach at Air Academy High School, Gary Barnett. Fun fact, Gary played basketball for my dad, a high school coach in St. Louis. I know. One of my last hires as AD at Fairview was Tom McCartney as the head football coach. What a great career, Tom. And of course, Pam, also a St. Louis native, is in the hall. Congratulations, Pam. Finally, Fairview was the host site of a cross-country invitational sponsored by the Boulder. Consequently, I joined the Boulder board and directly observed Steve Bosley's work and commitment to Boulder. Plus, Dave's first job while in college was at Steve's Bank of Boulder. Steve, it is a true pleasure to join the Legacy Wing with you. With Steele still in her CU tenure, we moved to Colorado Springs due to my position with USA Basketball. Not only was Steele the CU coach, she also coached several USA teams, including the '96 Olympic team and other youth teams. Throughout our tenure together, there were many fun memories. Getting lost in the Olympic Village on the Georgia Tech campus, mostly my fault. Interviewing her in an equipment closet before upsetting the reigning NCAA champion Stanford in the Sweet 16 and getting eventual national champions Texas Tech in the next round. And laughing hysterically during basketball camp skits. Included in the SEAL era was Chris Livingston, who I roomed with on the road. No one was funnier or more devoted to CU. She also helped my sons become responsible young men. Thanks and congratulations, Chris, on your honor tonight. Add Kathy McConnell-Miller, Linda Lappy, and now J.R. Payne to this list of coaches. Memories are seared into your mind when you build those relationships and have a few laughs together. Storytelling has always been fun, and those relationships help understand a team a little better, which adds to that storytelling. The growth of CU women's basketball parallels the growth of women's basketball throughout the world, and I'm lucky to have had a front row seat. JR asked me early in her tenure why I was doing the radio for CU when I had important roles in my parallel career. Hopefully, these ties that bind offer the why. Thank you again for this incredible honor.